What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Just trying to record this godforsaken episode that is just absolutely been completely haunted.
Oh, man, dude.
So we're trying to roll into October with the Halloween month. And Brandon, we did a whole episode on, and Brandon's mic went out. And we didn't know through the whole thing. And it's an episode of Young Frankenstein.
Just to let you know, the mic did go out, but for some reason it was recording Ryan's audio. So when I looked over at the waveforms, I kept seeing waves. So I was like, okay, my mic's working. But yeah, I have no idea what happened, but it was just a double recording of Ryan the entire episode. I could have just posted that, to be honest.
I think one is enough, if not too many for most. Yeah. So two would be brutal. So
what's up, man? What's up, man?
Yeah.
Not much. What's going on? Not much. What's going on? I mean, it is what it is, right? No.
Yeah, all the ADH people would have no idea that that's playing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we wanted to do an episode on Young Frankenstein. It's our favorite. I would say our favorite funny movie. Growing up, I think you were the only person I ever met that had seen the movie like beforehand. And it's by far, I would say, it's my number one favorite funny movie, hands down. It'll battle with, gosh, I mean, what's up there? Like Caddyshack, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
You know, all those movies. But for some reason, Young Frankenstein always comes out on top because you can see this movie when you're 10 and get a lot of jokes. And then you could watch it again when you're 25 and get even more jokes.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, that's 100% too.
Yeah. So it ages wonderfully. It's such a broad range of humor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you got like slapstick, you got like puns, and then you just got super smart comedy like throughout. And it's just an awesome movie.
Yeah, dude, it is, and we touched up on it on a past episode, but we didn't talk a lot about it. We just kind of here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Doing a full episode, I think would be, it's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if you guys have not seen this, I would honestly, Halloween's right around the corner, or October is right around the corner. This is a perfect movie to check out. Don't let the black and white, Brandy, you mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Don't let the black and white deter you. It's actually, and it's pretty interesting because I watched a couple documentaries on this and how they came up with or why they wanted to do black and white on purpose was to play off the original Frankenstein with Boris Karloff, like back in the 30s, you know. So they wanted to
31.
film it. Yeah, they wanted to film it just like it. They wanted it to be a sequel and be part of that era of movie making. And, it was really cool, like we mentioned, the black and white. And then a cameraman, he cut one time. And Mel Brooks, the director, was like, "What are you doing? Don't cut my movie." He's like, I was coming in and I shimmied a little bit. And he goes, "Let it happen." And he goes, "That's how these older movies were filmed." You know, nothing was perfect. You know, it was the beginning.
They didn't have the tracks and everything like they do nowadays to make perfect quality.
Right.
You know?
And they didn't use a zoom this entire movie. So everything was like movement, and it wasn't perfect. The audio's not perfect. The audio is very similar to the older movies. And so anyway, we'll get into that. But like, that's why it's black and white. It was on purpose. They wanted to do it on purpose. They actually had to fight with the movie studios because the movie studios were like, you know, we'll record it in color and turn it black and white.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with the
was,
little...
who was that? Is that Columbia?
Columbia, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to do that, and boy, did they miss out.
Yeah, yep.
They screwed up big time.
Yeah, because they didn't want to go in black and white because, like, Peru and all these other European countries were celebrating color because they were finally getting
they
it.
just got color too.
Yeah, and Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, everyone was like, "Yeah, get bent, you know.
Yeah.
We want it black and white. We don't want you guys to trick us." And they knew, you guys will trick us. You'll release this in color, and it wouldn't have worked. I don't think.
I mean, I think it would have still been funny, but it would have not have captured that classic Frankenstein
Gothic type.
You know, that's when you see those, like we talked about, those classic monsters, Universal monsters. We're like, they're always black and white. We want to see those. You know, that's what it. That nostalgia of it. So. Yeah.
Yep. And then how were you introduced to it?
So my neighbor is the one who introduced me. It feels like my neighbor introduced me to a lot of things in life, man. I really do. Like my music and everything. But anyways, his dad was watching it one day, and he's like, "Have you ever watched this movie?" And I was like, "This is exactly what I'm saying." Black and white. I was like, I mean, not really. You know, is it like a horror movie? He's like, "Oh, it's a funny movie." I was like, "Frankenstein? Like what?" You know, okay, whatever. Let's watch it, man. And I don't remember. I didn't come in directly in the beginning, so I missed a little bit. And we watched the rest of that movie, and dude, I cracked up the entire time. I was laughing so hard. Yeah. And I watched it probably like 3 or 4 more times after that, with him. And then that's when everything was like, dude, this movie is awesome. And yeah, dude, I just went on from there, dude. So funny.
Yeah, I could see how the younger audience would be like turned off by the black and white because it's black and white. Yeah. But man, all you have to get to is when he does the presentation on, the janitor, Mr. Hellbrook. Is it Hellbrook? Mr. Hellbrook?
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the moment he said nice hopping when he's trying to roll off the table. Hopping. Yeah. I was like, okay. And then he plants that scalpel in his thigh when he's in the argument with the medical assistant. And I was so freaking hooked.
Yeah. A little bit of, I just actually told you before we had to retake this beginning part.
Retake the retaken part?
Yeah. The medical assistant, aren't you the great-grandson of, you know, he's actually Brainy Smurf in Smurfs. So I thought that was kind of funny the first time I
That's so crazy.
But yeah, so now when you see him, you're going to be like, Brainy Smurf.
Yeah. So, like, to go through the cast, we had Gene Wilder, who was Dr. Frankenstein, Madeline Kahn, who was Elizabeth, which was his fiancée. Marty Marty Feldman was Igor. Yeah. And then we had Peter Boyle as the monster. And, man, I didn't know this, but Cloris Leachman as Frau Blücher. Yeah. Man, her IMDb picture. Have you seen the IMDb picture of her?
I will in a second.
Dude, she was beautiful.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, she was gorgeous.
They really effed it up in that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was her hair being tight, and you know, it just kind of.
Well, she was. Oh, okay. I think she was a little older to begin with.
Yeah. I don't know how old she was then. Was it 74?
I'm not sure.
When was she born? She was born in 26? Yeah. Holy crap. Okay, so
she lived to be older. Like 145. Yeah.
She died at 82, dude.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh, wait, no, hold on.
No, she was older than that. Yeah. 94. Then Teri Garr, and that was her first like role to begin with.
Yeah, she's gorgeous,
and then
too.
Just to pretty much get to the end of the major characters was Kenneth Mars as Inspector Kemp. Mm-hmm. Footsteps. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the movies to where. This was one of the movies to where, like, no one here could be replaced.
No.
At all.
Absolutely not.
Otherwise, it would not have worked at all. Like,
it'd be
Gene Wilder.
Rough. Oh,
and
like,
it could have.
Guarantee it wouldn't work without Gene Wilder. 100%.
No. And it couldn't have, like, worked with. Like, it could have been a very different movie, like, with Madeline Kahn she was going to be the lab assistant.
Yeah. She was originally supposed to be Inga, but she wanted to take on a smaller role, and she became Elizabeth.
Yeah,
So.
which was an awesome move because she ad-libbed so much good stuff in this movie. At it too. She did so good. And then Teri Garr came on, and I think in one of the documentaries I saw was she was supposed Goldie Hawn, I think, was up for that role at one point. Yeah, and Teri Garr, like, she was trying to be, I think she was going to be the assistant. And then they told her, or no, not the assistant, the fiance.
Yeah, Elizabeth, yeah.
And they told her, to come back with a German accent the next day and try for the medical, or the assistant.
Yeah, Inga.
Yeah, and what'd you say? It was her mom? Her mom had an assistant? So her mom
was actually on, she was working on the movie as in wardrobe, and she told her, hey, I'm doing this movie with Mel Brooks. You should, maybe you should come by and see if you can get a small part, or even just, I think more or less she was trying to get her on set to work on wardrobe with her. And then it turned out she actually just tried for the part instead. But yeah, then that's when they were like, yeah, we want you to come back tomorrow, and you're going to be trying out for Inga, who's the lab assistant.
Yeah, she said like 100 some odd women were going for like any role in this movie.
Dude, that'd be awesome to see if we can get a list of people who were actually they looked at during the movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just to see.
Yeah, because it was her first movie. Teri Garr, it was her first movie out of 100, like hundreds of women, and they nailed it. And it was funny because, I mean, let's just say there's a scene in there where, what knockers, and she looked she had some lungs on her, know.
Yeah, and her mom actually helped her boost them up. They put some socks and shit in her
with the socks.
Be bigger busted.
Yeah, because later on in other movies, I was like, wow, that does not add up. Like something's not adding up here. And when she said that in the documentary, I was like, oh, you tricky
I did see her in another movie. I can't remember what it was, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, you look different now.
Yeah.
Damn you.
You tricked me like my ex at one time. But there was one time. There was a. Not to mention, she made an appearance in Dumb and Dumber, where she was Mary Swanson's. I think she was a stepmom.
Stepmom.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Madeline Kahn had a lot of improv lines.
Oh gosh.
They just went back and forth. There was so much improv that just nailed it in the final movies, like or in the final movie, like when they're touching each other. Not the hair. Yeah, no. Like he can't even say goodbye to her at the train station.
That whole scene was actually improv.
Yeah, they did the elbow. Yeah. The COVID elbow.
Yeah, he just threw it out there, and then she went with it and just did the shake.
Gosh, the chemistry is amazing.
They got on, Gene got on the train, and he blew a kiss to her, and she ducked out of the way for the kiss.
Yeah.
I guess Mel Brooks was like, keep it. We're rolling with it. I want this. I love it. It's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, and then one of the better improv lines, Cloris Leachman, when Doctor care for warm brandy.
Yeah, a warm glass of brandy.
Yeah, and she keeps asking him, and he starts getting elevated. Like his annoyance keeps getting elevated. And as a kid, dude, she's asking for all these things like you would think they would have in like a Transylvania castle.
Yeah.
And then finally, Ovaltine.
Yeah. Warm milk.
Yeah.
The best part is because it was supposed to end after the brandy, right?
Yeah.
And they were going to walk their separate ways, and then she went warm milk, and they stopped. He turned around, knowing like she's adding on.
Perhaps.
I'm going to go with it. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And then turned away, started walking. Ovaltine. Came back again.
So awesome. And then one of the I mean, this guy made it. This guy, I think, was even with Gene Wilder through the entire movie, and that's Igor by Marty Feldman.
Yes. 100%.
Freaking
dude.
classic. That guy, every time that guy was on the screen, you were going to laugh.
Oh, easy.
Every
Easy.
single time. Even his just the way he like would break the fourth wall and look at the camera.
Yep.
It was so funny.
And I've mentioned it. Well, I guess I can't keep saying I mentioned it before because that was in the same episode that we just freaking did.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to say lines through this movie. Just his movements, his actions make you laugh. And it's awesome. Like, it's such a great job through this entire movie, man.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes with him where he like doesn't talk is when he has Hans Delbruck written on his hand, and that's the brain he's supposed to retrieve from the brain place.
Yeah. What was that? Now
I don't know.
Who the hell
like
stores brains? Hey man, there's some weird shit went on back then.
Brains on shelves and stuff, but he sits there and he's next to the brain and he looks at the palm of his hand and says Hans Delbruck, and then he forms the finger gun and looks back into the camera, and it's just like, why? Yeah. It's just so funny.
He just smiles. Yeah, and then just keeps going on, man. Not a
yeah.
Not a thought in the world, dude. It's awesome.
Yes, yeah, he was fantastic. One of my favorite lines of them is, they get picked up at the train station by Igor, and they're going through Transylvania, and it's all spooky and everything, and they're cuddled in the back, and Frederick and Inga, and they're cuddled in the back, and all of a sudden there's a wolf sound.
Yep.
Werewolf? Werewolf? And then Igor just goes, there wolf, there castle. Which is how, like, Igor talk. Igor. Yeah, Igor. Yeah, they're going off of Igor.
Original Igor, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, why are you talking like that? He goes, I thought you wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. No. Suit yourself. I'm easy. It just keeps going.
Right back to his normal character.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, as a kid, I was sitting there. I was like, why did he talk like that? Oh, werewolf. I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. It took a second. I remember that first time I heard that. I was just like, what the hell is that? I was like, oh, whatever, But yeah, getting older, you see it again. You're like, oh, come on, man. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah. That's that knee slapper.
Yeah.
And then
wolf. Castle.
Yeah. And then Peter Boyle as the monster.
Yep.
Was flipping awesome.
That's got to be one of his like first roles, huh? Like at least like big role at least.
Honestly, I have no idea. I have no clue. That guy, he always kept a special place in my heart, just for this movie.
Sure, dude, for sure.
And I remember being as a kid like watching Everybody Loves Raymond like way back in the day, and I remember staring at the dad. I'm like, is that the monster? Back in the day, I didn't pay attention to who was in what and who. But I was like, man, he looks like Frankenstein. I didn't have a phone to look it up. I didn't have the internet to look it up. Well, I mean, internet was around, but it just wasn't something. I'm not going to shut off all the phone lines in my house to take 20 minutes to try to find out if Peter Boyle was the monster. So
looking back, he didn't really do. He did a bunch of movies beforehand, but he didn't do anything real big as young Frankenstein, so
yeah,
could have been his real big start. So
yeah. So Brandon, cool. What would be your like favorite scene for you to see? Like, if you were to I want to show someone this movie, I'm going to show them one scene for them to see, and what would you do as the you know what, I'm gonna watch it. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, it's my favorite scene with dinner, when they're eating dinner, and Gene Wilder's struggling to figure out why this experiment isn't working, and he's so frustrated. But that was the scene to where he's like, Inga's like, Doctor, you haven't touched your food yet, and then he smashes it with his hands. There,
yeah.
I touched it. You happy now?
Yeah,
and he
like
just
some
went back to
little
normal.
brat 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Igor just goes, you know, when things like this happen, it reminds me of my own dad, the things he used to say to me. And then
What did
he
he
was so
say?
intrigued, like, what did he say? He goes, what the hell are you doing in the bathroom day and night? Why don't you get out and give someone else a chance?
Yeah.
And then just goes back to eating. No, nothing else happens. It's like
He gives that
what
little
the
nod.
What the fuck was that, man?
He gives that little reassurance
What the
nod,
hell
like,
was that? And then G. Wilder's character is just like, huh.
yeah,
Well, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Oh gosh.
What about you, man?
That was great. Mine is,
Oh, my
when the
God.
monster is definitely brought back to life and they're struggling with it, they put him out with the sedative. You guys will
Yep,
understand that
sedative.
later.
Give him a
Sedative!
sedative.
And, he's so invested in this experiment now that he wants, he's like, I am going to show people that this is possible and he needs to be loved.
Yeah.
And he's telling them all, he goes, I need to show him that he is loved, that I'm ready to sacrifice my own life.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, he goes, no matter how, I'm going to butcher this quote, but bear with me, guys. But he's, no matter how yell I scream, do not open this door or you'll undo everything that all I've worked for. And Igor's just like, nice working with you.
Yep.
And dude,
At least he's being honest.
he gets locked in that chamber, and this is it. Like, this is the scene right here. He accidentally kicks like a chair or something like that, and the monster wakes up. He's "Rah!" And he just turns around immediately. The camera is like panned up, like his face is in the camera. The monster's getting up, and he's just like, "Get me out of here! Get me the hell out of here! What's the matter with you people? Don't you know I was joking?" And then he turns around. He's just like, open this goddamn door, I'll kick your rotten heads in. Mommy! It's just so funny. Just the way he screams. Like, Gene Wilder had such
Absolute
a wonderful
fear.
scream. Yeah. And he's just dude, the fact, the
my
seriousness in his face. He's like, get me out of here. Get me the hell out of
He's
here.
still being calm and collective. He just wants to fuck out right now.
Yeah, they're trying to get him out, and Frau Blücher's not letting.
No,
9. Yeah. Man,
that was such a funny part too.
There's-
That's definitely up there.
there's so many scenes that you can pick out of this movie that, you know what, people are gonna want to check this out. You could do the introduction scene. You could do the introduction scene.
Actually, we should probably bring that up because it's.
We've been calling him wrong this whole time. But at the train station when they're introducing to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But it's obvious.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but when they're. You and I have done this scene a ton of times.
Oh my god, dude!
Dr. Frankenstein. He's like, it's Frankenstein. He's like, you put me on. Like, no, it's Frederick.
No, it's Frank.
Wouldn't it be Frederick Frankenstein? No, it's Frederick. You must be Igor. No, they pronounce it Igor. They told me it was Igor. Well, they were wrong then, weren't they? And he just so
A little smirk.
Yeah. But the tying some trivia with that intro was, okay, let's go. Oh man, the rates have gone up is pretty damn funny too.
Yeah, of course the rates have gone up.
Yeah. Yes.
Of course.
But to tie in of all things Aerosmith into this movie was Igor pulls off this ridiculous joke. He was like, "Walk this way," and he pulls that little cane, and he walks and he hands it up to Frederick.
He goes, "Here."
He's like, "This way.
Walk
this way.
This way."
Yeah, and it's like
so he starts walking like that, right?
Yeah,
he's like hobbling down the steps, and he's like, "What am I doing?
Yeah.
What the hell am I doing?"
Yeah, but Steven Tyler saw that movie, saw the movie. It was like he liked that part so much, he wrote a song titled "Walk This Way" with the chorus, and all he had to do was build off everything outside of that.
Yeah, and that's so funny because that bit was originally planned to be cut from the final version of the film.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, and it gained so much popularity that Mel Brooks included that variation of it in a couple other of his movies afterwards. History of the World Part 1 and then Robin Hood Men in Tights. They both have variations of Walk This Way in those two movies.
No way.
So, yeah, that was pretty. I thought that was pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
This way.
Yeah, and I guess another thing of trivia, which you and I just had this debunked like a week ago, was when we always thought that the horse is freaking out was because we thought Frau Blücher was glue in German, which is hilarious, but that's not the case.
Well, that's what we were told. Growing up, everyone was like, why are the horses freaking out? I was like, well, Blücher means glue in German, and obviously glue is made from, was it horse hooves or something? I don't remember exactly what it was, but...
Yeah, something like that.
So horses, that's why they're freaking out, like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, and it just wasn't. It was just a play on of like all those old scary movies when someone's introduced, like they do it with Igor, Dr. Frankenstein, and then the lightning goes off. But they just decide to just overdo it with her because just the mystery of it.
Yeah, and she did a smooth take too. She was like, I am Frau Blücher, and then and then she was just like a very slow like turn, like what? Okay.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like like a shock or anything. Just okay.
Dude, she cracked me up like when the candles aren't even lit. Just stay close to the candles, please. The stairs could be treacherous, which means like they've lost people on those
people
stairs.
Fell off the fucking stairs.
Yeah.
The non-lit candles.
Yes. Stay close to the candles, please.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, there's so much in this movie. Gosh, what else pops in your head when it comes to that?
Gosh, I mean, well, we talked about it before that it was such a funny movie. Gene Wilder literally laughed the entire time making it, and they had to do so many takes, and it just got to the point where everyone was laughing, right? One of the most noticed ones that I heard on the documentary was he's like, when Elizabeth came to visit, and they're going into the castle, and he said something to Igor, and Igor goes, certainly, you take the blonde and I'll take the one in the type, and he does that, and he just bites on that fox that she had, that snow fox on
around her neck.
Shoulder. Yeah, well, I guess they had to redo that take like 9-10 times because every time they did it, Gene Wilder just started cracking up. And the last time he did it, he came back and he had a bunch of fur in his mouth. Like he actually bit into this damn thing, and Gene Wilder lost it again. So during that scene, it's actually funny because I watched it again. He is fighting back so hard, trying not to laugh. Like he's like looking around, like he's trying to like fight it off just to make one damn scene get through it.
Yeah,
so
dude, that is great. And it's funny, like you mentioned, like we've been watching all this stuff, and like actors and actresses, I know they all call them actors now, but like they would show up on their days off just to watch the movie being filmed. Gene Wilder even said, he's like, is there anything else we can do to keep this going? He goes, I don't want to stop filming this movie.
Yeah.
And but there was one scene to where it was Cloris Leachman.
Cloris Leachman, yeah.
Yeah, she showed up on the scene when they were doing the bookcase scene, and it spins, and he yells, "Put the candle back!" And she's off in the corner and just started like freaking out laughing because he got stuck in the booth.
They had to redo it.
Bookshelf. Yeah, completely ruined the take. Had to redo it, and it was just so damn good.
Well, there's one, not a scene, but a time where Peter Boyle did the same thing. He came on set, and they're like, "Oh, are we recording anything with you today?" And he's like, "No, I just came to watch."
That's so awesome.
Oh, okay, like because that's not common, right? If you don't have to work, you're not going to go to work, right?
No.
Imagine going to work just to hang out.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But no, they said it was such a fun movie to film. Like, it was absolutely fun.
Yeah.
That's so funny, too.
They said it was like a huge playground, too, because they were able to get all like the old like crazy set pieces and medical equipment from like the old Frankenstein movie.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys, if you can hear my... I got my daughters in the background, listeners, so I apologize. But like, they had all the old like equipment from the movies, and they were able, like, it was just a big playground. And Teri Garr was talking about how cool it was to be on, because that was a real platform that they were being elevated on.
Oh.
You know, yeah, elevate me. Right here? No? Yes. Yeah, but yeah, like, it was so, that's a freaking great, like, it had to been so fun to do. The set was huge.
Oh my God, that just reminded me when Igor was up top and they're yelling at him. You know, he's like, "Can you? Did you hear me?" And
there's a slight chance of electrocution. And he's just staring at.
Did you hear me? And he's like, "Of course I heard you. Why are you yelling?"
Yeah,
he's just appeared right there. And they look up like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, and he's
like,
gone. Yeah. God, that was good.
Why are you yelling?
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, of course you're shouting.
Yeah.
What was the scene? I can't remember. Like, I was going through all the other stuff. I gotta watch this again. But what was the other scene where they like surprise each other? Like, Igor, Frederick. Like, what happened?
Oh shoot. What was that?
I can't remember. They like ran into each other.
Oh no, it was the heads. Remember, they're walking and they seen the heads. It was like 2-year-old head, 10-year-old head. And
yeah.
And
Ain't got
he goes,
nobody.
Igor. He goes, Frederick.
Yeah,
that's that. That was that scene. Yeah. I ain't got nobody
and nobody cares.
The funny thing is that's when they found out about the bookcase. How the hell did he get back there?
I didn't even think of that.
Because they're walking down. Remember all the cobwebs there, and they're moving over. And then all of a sudden he's down there.
Filthy mess. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I never thought of that. He was the first one.
I literally just thought of it too. Like, what the hell, man? How the hell did he get down there?
Yeah. There's 2 nasty looking switches over here, but I'm not going to be the first. Yeah. That
Damn
was
your
so
eyes.
awesome.
Too late.
Too late. Yeah.
So,
dude,
super quotable. This whole entire movie, man.
Oh yeah. If you've never seen,
we've been quoting it every single time we've been talking so far.
If you've never seen the movie, you've heard a quote from it. Like, hands down.
Actually, there was a little bit of trivia that I read that they said that it was. Where is it? I got to figure out where I put it now. Oh shoot. It was one of the most quotable movies ever made.
Oh, hands down. Easily. It has to be.
I swear I put it down. I swear I did. Now I can't find it anywhere. I
like, it's crazy because, like, Gene Hackman made an appearance only because he played tennis with Gene Wilder. And he's like, dude, do you have anything for me? He's like, I do. I do. And, you know, it's funny how Mel Brooks was talking about the movie was how they did it. It was just like he did it like they were like sculpting. He goes, you have a script, you start going through it, and you start chiseling away. He goes, the stuff, if you got a pillar, you keep it. And he goes, and you could build off of that to where, and this was one of the scenes that he was describing that. He goes, you had the blind man there, and he's giving soup to the monster, and the script called for him just to pour the soup in the, with the ladle into the bowl. And Gene Wilder was sitting there. He's like, what if he misses the bowl and it lands on his crotch and the monster freaks out? And they're like, well, there we go. And like, that's what they did that whole movie. And what's crazy is when they did that, the soup was actually boiling. So, and he had to wear, I don't know why they would do that, but he had to wear a protective layer on his crotch, so when they poured it on, he wasn't going to get hurt. But I was like, Jesus, that's risky. Yeah. But that's just what they did, like with the whole movie. Like, okay, we're going to start here. Let's film it. What could something be funny that would happen here? And I guess a lot of it landed on the, there's a lot of stuff that landed on the cutting room floor, but it was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
I
That is
just
so
think
funny.
everything they stuck with it was good. So
Yeah. No, I found it. So it says, since the release in 1974, Young Frankenstein's become one of the most popular, most quoted, and most profitable comedies ever made.
yeah, it killed in the box office, like in
Dude,
the theater.
oh
It
yeah.
had really good word of mouth because they did the premiere, and they said people were laughing so hard they were missing some of the jokes, some of the following jokes.
You know, it's
'Cause
so
they were
funny.
like,
Have you ever been like showing people something and then they're laughing hard and they're like, wait, hold on, like, oh, quiet, so you can hear this part because
Yeah.
the joke was like, bam, bam, like there's multiple jokes in a row.
Yeah.
I can totally agree with that too. Like, I
Yeah.
can see that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it was huge, and it's just so crazy. It came, yeah, one of the most. So funny. It's one of the most quotable movies, and it was thought up during one of the movies that you can't quote at all. It's
Yeah, not no
Blazing
more.
Saddles.
Yeah. So that's where Gene originally basically shot his moment to Mel Brooks because they were filming Blazing Saddles, and
Yeah.
he's like, I want to do a Frankenstein movie, parody on it. So
Wow.
yeah, and that's
Gosh.
yeah. And then it went on there. Yeah, they were. He made it a point to shoot it in black and white. Remember, and Columbia said no, and then 20th Century Fox said we'll do it, no problem.
Well, yeah, Columbia too would only give them a certain amount of money. Like they would not. They were like
Oh, that's
really
true. That's right,
pulling
yeah.
back on the budget, and they were like, they needed like $2.25 million to make it. Columbia came back with 1.75, and then they met with like 2.1, and then they were just like, you know what, you guys could just
Yeah,
be gone.
we're gonna go with 20th Century Fox, and yeah, never look back because it blew up, and they made a ton of money, and still making a ton of money off of that movie. So, yeah, that's awesome too. I love
Yeah,
that.
I mean, this one's gonna go back into. This one's gonna be around forever. I think it's gonna be preserved, or it is actually. I forgot when it was preserved. Like it's like
Shoot,
a
dude, it's 50
protected
years
piece
old
of entertainment.
this year. 50 years old this year.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're up there.
No, it can't be right. Right? 90, 14. Fucking A, dude.
Wow. Didn't you mention before that they all went out to dinner in full makeup
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything
So
at
after
the end?
they shot the last scene, cut. That's a wrap. Let's go get some food. And they just went out exactly what they had on. They all left. And there's actually photos. I'm going to see if I can find them, and I'll post them. It's like Gene Wilder feeding Peter Boyle with like food and stuff. He's at the monster, So it's so
That's
funny.
so
Like he's like,
cool.
here you go. Everyone's looking at him like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. That's
That's
amazing.
funny. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So another one was one of the most famous comedic scenes ever that Gene Wilder had to fight for with Mel Brooks because Mel Brooks thought it was too crazy. And that was the putting on the Ritz scene
Oh yeah, that's right.
where Mel kept saying no, and I guess Gene said he like turned purple. He was so mad, so evident, like it needs to go in this movie. And then finally Mel Brooks was like, okay, we'll put it in the movie.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean just okay? Like he's like physically upset. And he's like, if you're fighting so hard for this, I know it's right, and we'll just do it. And that was it. What a
I mean,
call.
it makes sense, right? Like I'm glad they did because it's such a funny scene.
Yeah.
But
Oopa
yeah.
loopa.
See, I just wanted to see how hard you'd fight for it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a crazy freaking thing, but hey, I mean, it works. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah. It's crazy too. Like I was reading here, Gene Wilder's performance as Dr. Frederick Frankenstein is ranked number 9 on Premiere Magazine's 100 Greatest Performances of All
Oh,
Time.
no way.
Yeah, he's ahead of the
Dude.
likes of Robert De Niro in Raging Bull and
Oh,
Daniel
wow.
Day-Lewis in My Left Foot.
On those, I think both of those movies came out around that same time too.
Yeah, so
Did they?
think about that.
I'm pretty sure they did actually.
Wow.
No way, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, and he does. It's great. Like one of the famous comical lines was, or not comical lines, but one of the most famous scenes was when, yeah, it's alive. Give my creation life, and he's just like I said. He had an amazing scream, and yeah, they said it was just so intense.
Oh God, I could see it too. I could see everything playing out in my head right now. That's awesome. That's so
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll definitely be watching this. I'm still trying to wait for a proper time to like show my kids. Like,
Yeah. Well, you said that before, Michael. My kids they're older now, and they're actually the age that I was. So I feel like I could probably show it to them, and they'd probably get a kick out of it.
yeah,
So definitely.
just waiting for a lot of yeah, just see what would land.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, it's an awesome movie. But yeah, if you guys have not seen it, now's the perfect time of year to watch this thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh no, you're good. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying as we're wrapping up here, there's a million different things we didn't touch on.
That's true. That is true.
That's up to you guys.
So much. The 20th Century Fox had the logo. I'm not sure why, but the 0 and 20, I think it was tilted a certain angle, and it was different from the other 20th Century Fox logos at that time when they opened up the movies, and so they're just like, okay, whatever, that's just how it is. Anyways, Star Wars A New Hope actually used that same exact logo. So it must have been in like their whatever database of like 20th Century Fox logos that they just on accident used that one. And I thought that was so cool that so now when you watch Star Wars A New Hope, you're gonna see that O's tilted. You're gonna be like, that's a young Frankenstein.
I don't know how they didn't notice that. Because when you mentioned it before, I was like, oh, I've never paid attention. And I looked, and I'm like, wow, is that bad? Like, that is so bad.
So,
like,
you notice it so much, too, right?
You can tell it's a joke. Like, it is so off-centered.
Did you looked it up, though?
Yeah. Like, I immediately, I was just like, ooh. Like, oh, my goodness.
It's so different, too.
Yeah.
I guess Star Wars used it, too. On accident. They just kind of threw it on there thinking it was just a normal logo for the...
Dude, I wonder if someone got fired. Could you imagine during the premiere, they're just watching, they're like, oh, shit. Like, oh,
shit, why does that look weird?
Yeah. Off to a bang-up job. Off to a good start here. Real good start, guys. Great.
Nice.
You're not going to believe in this space. Damn it. Did they ever fix it? Do you know if they ever fixed it?
They had to have, because it must have changed again. But they actually changed the logo, because remember they had the camera that came around?
Yeah.
The actual 20th Century Fox, where it wasn't just stationary like it was in that time frame.
Oh, man. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. What I wonder who caught that. They're like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. Well, what happened? Why was it like that in the first place?
Right. Yeah, no kidding. I have to look that up.
But no, seriously, guys, watch this movie. You're not going to regret it.
No,
it's
never
so
will.
funny. So funny.
Yep. Oh, what do you think? Should we wrap this sucker up?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to do a deep dive here real soon into the month of Halloween. And we already got one episode written up, and we'll hammer these out sometime soon. So, But yeah, catch us on all podcast platforms: Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram. Just trying to list everything off. It's getting longer.
No. Oh, yep. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, share, whatever. Do what you need to do. Help us out. We're trying to grow slightly every time.
Every day. Yep.
Alrighty. Till next time, my friends.
See you later.